alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe.
I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry, pushing back the tears. Should take a leap of faith and face my fear. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end. Holding out, but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Like a volcano. Blow it up like a volcano. What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you set me free? What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you set me free?
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted.
me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control of this paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
When the lights go down, I've seen hell in you, but you don't care, no, you don't care, no. You just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. Oh, yo, fall into oblivion. I'm going on. You can't fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. But now you wanna see me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. Oh, yo, fall into oblivion.
give me some. I'ma catch a murder case. On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some. I'ma catch a murder case. I'ma catch a murder case. On my clock, in this cop, mask on my face. Hesitate to give me some.
Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone.
What is up, fam? We are back. Good to see y'all. Another weekend in the books and then another week starting off. It's crazy, it's already Tuesday. It's going by real fast. Then before you know it, it's going to be the weekend again. And then I'm actually heading on a trip this weekend. It's kind of spur of the moment trip. I knew that, so we have MLK Day, which is Monday, and we have that off for work. So I was like, all right, let's see if I'm gonna do something. So basically, hit up the guys back in Utah, and I'm gonna take a flight down there Saturday. I originally was gonna go Thursday, but I actually have a work kind of conference thing, so I need to be here until in person Thursday, which kind of sucked. I tried to look for a flight out Friday, but it was like $200 more. So I was like, all right, I'll just fly out Saturday morning, get there Saturday morning. Then we're gonna hit up old Wendover, and we'll have some fun and stuff, and it'll be a good time with the boys. And I got a few things set up as well with some other people. You catch my drift, but good to be back. I'll be gone this next weekend, and then I'll be coming. So I leave Saturday, and then I'll be coming back Tuesday evening. So there will not be a live next week Tuesday. Also, there will not be. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for you guys, but there will most likely not be a live on this Thursday either, just because I joined basketball league with some of my coworkers, and we have a game Thursday, and we have games most Thursday nights. So I believe our game is at like seven something. So that's like right at the time that I normally go live. So most likely I won't do a live then. I'll maybe see if I can do a live Friday night. I might be doing something, might have a date or be hanging out with someone. So I'll let you guys know, but just plan probably no live Thursday and then no live next Tuesday, and then I'll just be live the next Thursday. Just plan for that. And I'll put a post on YouTube and my socials about it too. But that's about it. BYU's playing Baylor tonight. I was gonna go to the game, but tickets were pretty pricey, pricier than I thought. So yeah, it was gonna be hard to convince some people to go. One of my guys I know, he actually tutored one of the BYU players, and he's actually going with this other girl. It's not like I don't know. It's basically a date, so I didn't want a third wheel, and he wasn't. He only had two tickets, and uh, he wasn't able to get a third ticket. And I was just like, all right, that's all good. I need a live stream, especially if I'm going to be gone Thursday and then next Tuesday, and then I'll just watch the game from home. So I'll be doing that while I'm probably eating my last meal of the day after this live. But got to do the traditional crack of the sparkling water. Now I messed up. I probably talked about this last time. I messed up and I got the unsweetened version, which honestly I probably should be drinking these. It's a little bit better for me. It doesn't have the aspartame and stuff. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about ingredients in the stuff that I consume. I'm trying to be a little bit more, I guess, natural, like whole foods and stuff. Now, obviously, drink's a drink. I might have a few things here and there, but for the most part, I try to keep everything a little bit more natural. So not a ton of processed foods at the end of the day. Longevity and health. That's why I preach to you guys. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it then. So, tonight's topic, we are talking about social media, decoding the social media game. I don't even know what was the exact title. Decoding social media. That's what it was. So we're decoding social media, and this is kind of like a thing I'm actually really interested in, just because I have a few friends that are also trying to create content on social media as well, and it's honestly that's like the honestly we're already in the age of social media. Like, to be honest, if I was smarter and I knew better, uh, and I knew better, yeah, I knew the future essentially, but like, and I still think it's ahead of us like if you kind of think of like blockchain and crypto and stuff like that. Like, we're definitely not to the point where it's super mainstream yet. Social media is super mainstream, but like creating content wise, like people are definitely catching on to that. And I think we're not at the peak yet, for sure. I think the peak is in the next like decade or so. Or honestly, no, I think it might even just keep increasing. More and more people use it. Everyone will start using it. I believe it's only a certain percentage of people, especially as Gen Z and the later millennials, they start getting older and older, because these are the people that use social media the most, especially specifically like Instagram and YouTube and those types of social media platforms. Snapchat and stuff, honestly, I think it's gonna kind of die. Like TikTok, I think is eventually, well, most of you know my stances on TikTok. I think it should be banned. I don't trust the Chinese government, but anyway, Instagram is going to be the way to go. Facebook was kind of like an older generation, our parents and stuff like that, and millennials. But Instagram is going to take over everything. Instagram and YouTube. And YouTube, it kind of already has. So everything's going to run through social media. People are going to just be basically living their lives online, which most of the time people are. And I want to take advantage of that. I don't want to be the consumer end of it. I want to be the producer, so I can benefit off of it, and I can, yeah, use that to essentially make money and kind of make a brand, a name for myself. But it's really interesting to see the dynamics and the demographics and the statistics and kind of the logic behind social media and like how it works and stuff like that. And I'm not going to go into necessarily the human psychology part of like the dopamine hits and all that stuff in tonight's live. Honestly, I might do that in a future live, but I'm focusing on kind of like basically there are so many female like people on or females on Instagram that just have tons of followers. And as far as guys, I'll go into a little bit of statistics and stuff like that, and kind of the numbers behind what I'm saying and why I kind of formed this hypothesis. And there's several other people that agree with me. It's like Michael Sartain is one guy, Rollo Tomassi is another guy, just to name a few. But women typically have just like insane, like a large amounts of followers compared to dudes, and they could be essentially doing the same thing, and the woman's probably gonna just have more followers, and we're gonna go into the reasons why. And essentially, women can get followers a lot easier than guys can on social media, and there's reasons why for that, and I'm gonna go over that. So, kind of the title of it was like why 100K followers for her equals 10K followers for him, just because I kind of think of it. That's a really easy way to think about stuff. So if a guy's on Instagram and he has like 10K followers, that's a huge deal. It's like a really big deal versus a girl that has like 10K followers on Instagram. It's not that big of a deal. There's tons of girls on Instagram that have 10K plus, even 100K followers. But guys that have like 10K, it's like, whoa, he must be doing something. And I'm gonna get into that why it's like that. And I guess I'll just preface it at the beginning. So at the end of the day, it's like guys need to produce so much more value, and this is just how it is. I'm not saying to complain about it or it should be the other way type of a thing, because, like I said, I'm going to go into the reasons behind it. But men, if a guy has 10K followers, that means he's producing most likely lots of value through his social media, whether that be he's some sort of sports star or he's some sort of singer or rapper or he's some sort of status in a way, either that or he's producing valuable content. On the other hand, women, of course, there are women that do produce valuable content, or they're singers, or they're athletes themselves that have millions of followers. And I'm going to get into this. But I'm talking about like kind of that the average social media user, it's like women can get followers a lot easier. That's why it's so easy. These girls that just take selfies and stuff and they just look good, they have 100K followers versus a guy, he has to produce a lot of value in order to get 10K followers if he's not a sports star, if he's not a rapper, if he doesn't have that status. Because these girls, they don't really have the status, they just like look good. But they have 100K followers versus the guy, it's like 10K followers. It's providing a lot of value to have that 10K followers versus the girls. They're usually just posting selfies. Obviously, there's anomalies and there are exceptions to the rule. But as most of you understand and know about myself, I don't operate by the exceptions because there's always going to be exceptions. And generally speaking, I have found that people that to navigate the world through more of the generalities versus the exceptions tend to navigate life better than the people that focus on the exceptions. So that being said, let's go and hop into some social media stats that I went into. Unfortunately, I don't have like access to a lot of accounts and like stats per se, just because you have to pay for a lot of this information. ChatGPT only can take you so far. And there's a lot of this stuff, honestly, I don't even know if it's been researched or anything like that. I would have to dig a little bit deeper, and I'm sure there's some guys like Michael Sartain and Rollo that dive deep into a lot deeper than I do into the stats and the data, and they have a lot better sources than I do. But social media following stats and just the behaviors on social media. So this is so two of my sources. First one's from Statista, which is obviously a credible source. And the other one, it's like not as credible a source, so I don't know how much I believe it. It's based off of this, just like an article, and it was also a company named Hopper HQ, I believe. Data from Hopper HQ. And this one's kind of old, so I don't know if it's necessarily as credible because this was back in 2018 versus like now this is 5 years later. Like Instagram is like social media changes by the day, let alone the years. So this is probably outdated. But I tend to say it's probably skewed towards like women even being more popular and more followers and more engagement. And I'm going to get into that. But from Statista, or Statista, I don't know how you pronounce it, but as of January 2023, this is just the total demographic of Instagram. In total, out of all the users worldwide, there's actually more men users than women users. I actually found that very fascinating because you'd think social media, women are on it more, generally speaking, I'd say. And granted, I'm biased because I live in the United States. It might be different in different countries, but worldwide, there's actually more male users than female users. It's 51.8% of Instagram users worldwide are men, 48.2% are women, which I found very interesting because I would just naturally think that women are the have use it more, generally speaking, so there's probably more women users, but there's actually not. All right, next, also from Statista, is most followed Instagram accounts. This is as of July 2023. Numbers are probably different because this was like 6 months ago. But the top ones are men, and they are prominent male athletes, world renowned. Like, it makes sense that they're the top of the world, just because at the end of the day, yeah, they are who they are because of their accomplishments. Cristiano Ronaldo, number one, 648 million followers. Messi, number two, 595 million followers. Then it's Selena Gomez, 425 million. Kylie Jenner, 397. The Rock, 386. Ariana Grande, 376. Kim Kardashian, 362. Beyonce, 314. Khloe Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Kendall Jenner, Taylor Swift, 266. Oh, the list goes on. But it's interesting. All right, the top people are men, but let's put things into context. These are guys that accomplish like crazy feats, like and stuff like that. And granted, a lot of these women that did as well. Like you say, argue Beyonce and I maybe say like Kylie Jenner, as far as like business and just like popularity and well, not even popularity, but just accomplishment wise, and maybe Taylor Swift. But then there's a lot of these other ones like, all right, like I guess Selena Gomez is in there, but Ariana Grande, all right, she's super super popular, but is she like more popular than Justin Bieber? She has more followers than Justin Bieber by a lot. It's like 60 million, almost 100 million. And they got like Kendall Jenner, like Khloe Kardashians, like, and notice that it's all around like a lot of them are from the Kardashian family. It's like at the end of the day, a lot of these women they built their businesses and brands or whatever, but it was all based off of popularity. It's not because they necessarily, and they do provide value. That's why they have successful businesses, but it's mainly from like the advertising of who they are, like the family, you know. And a lot of times they just look good. Let's be totally honest. That's why a lot of their brands are successful. But it's interesting that's like the top two people, all right, are guys, and then you got like The Rock and Justin Bieber. But other than that, it's like the top 15 most followed accounts on Instagram. They're like majority women. I think that's very interesting, and also this data from Hopper HQ, which is the 2018 data, which I don't know super reliable or not, but as of that time, that period in time, it was around 45% of the top 100 Instagram accounts were female. So that was like the majority of Instagram accounts. 34% male, and then you have brand accounts because you have to remember those were around 20%, 21%. So more women are being followed in general. But if you look at the stats, there's actually more male users. So it's like, why are these women having more followers? And it's true. It's like women, generally speaking, like they tend to have more followers as well. And I'll kind of get into the some case examples. Um, so that's like the most followed Instagram accounts. And I tried to go into more specific data. It's like, all right, what's the average female account like follower wise versus the male account? I couldn't get into the nitty gritty with all that data. I wasn't able to find that. But some things I where it was able to find is like female influencers have way more engagement than male influencers. It's like 77%, and then there's just more of the all the influencers on Instagram, just way more females than males, which that kind of makes sense because especially when it comes to like buying products and shopping and clothes and makeup and all that stuff, like majority like women are the demographic that's the most consumer, or how do I want to phrase this? How am I trying to phrase this? Women buy the most stuff, spend the most money in the world than other demographics. It's factual that they just spend more money, and they're the ones that tend to spend more money. So that makes sense that it's like, all right, most of these monetized influencers are probably women because they're promoting women focused brands and products and services and stuff like that. So, and those are the spenders in the economy. So 77% of monetized influencers are male versus the rest are female and the rest are male. And then also from the same, not so, I don't know how credible data source is that uh, women just, they interact more with women accounts and then just the other accounts in general. Men don't interact and engage with with other male accounts as much. So it says women's posts stand on the average or tend to get 578 more likes per post than men. Or sorry, that's incorrect. So it says the average number of likes on a woman's post is at 578 compared to that of a male's post is approximately 117. So that's like a 400 plus almost 500 like discrepancy between a woman's post and a male's post. And the reasoning behind that is women are more likely to engage with other women, like other accounts in general, but specifically other women. Men, on the other hand, they don't tend to engage a lot with other male accounts or just accounts in general, or as much. I'd say they're even more likely to engage with a female content creator than a male content creator for reasons I will explain later. Mainly because they honestly, women are more attractive. They'll get the guys because of their looks, and they'll like the picture. There's a picture of a hot chick. You're probably gonna like it if you're a guy, especially if she's like in a bikini or something. It's just like male nature. Versus there's a post, the guy's probably not gonna post a picture of him in like a speedo or something. Even if he does, like no guys are probably gonna like that picture, and then a lot of girls probably aren't gonna like that picture either. It's funny that I guess a case example of this is like Sebum. So Chris Bumstead, he's a I don't know 3 4 time Olympiad winner champion, he's a bit prominent bodybuilder. He's probably the most popular bodybuilder of all time. But it's like 90% of his following is guys and his engagement is guys. So like guys are more likely to like that kind of stuff. Women, they don't care for it. Whereas probably the amount of like followers, say like Selena Gomez or like Kim Kardashian or whatever, it's probably a large percentage of it's probably I would love to see the demographics and the split of male versus female followers that they have. But I would say it's obviously majority women, but it's probably a big amount of guys as well that follow them just because they're hot, you know? And that's what it kind of boils down to at the end of the day. So regarding engagement, women are 10 times more likely to share, comment, or like a woman's post than posts by male Instagram users. So at the end of the day, women are more likely to engage with women than men are likely to engage with men. All right, and this is just kind of some basic observations that I had based off of when I was in high school, things were totally different, so I don't think it's very fair to bring that up. But just to put things in context, when I was in high school, I like didn't even have an Instagram. Like it was funny. Twitter was kind of the big thing then, and maybe a little bit of Facebook. Some people, a lot of people did have Instagrams. I actually didn't make one for whatever reasons. But I'd say the average amount of followers that like a high school guy would have, let's just say like let's just put this not as the average because honestly the average would be actually pretty low, but I think the kind of the average for girls would be a little bit higher. But think of the average guy. All right, let's just do like averages. So the average guy in high school when I was in high school probably had like 300 to 400 followers. The average girl in that same high school, same age, same high school, same friends or whatever, they would probably have anywhere from 400 to 800 followers. And it was very rare that people would exceed 1K followers unless they're like super attractive and they get followers from other high schools and stuff like that, which that started happening in my when I was in high school, that people from you would know people from other high schools and you'd hang out from people with people from other high schools. Not as prominent when I was in high school, but nowadays it's like totally different. Like people from other high schools hang out with people from your high school, two high schools over, like across town, across the city. Like it's very normal nowadays, which is very foreign to how I grew up. But nowadays, high school kids, like the average guy, I would say, just because I've met guys who are like freshmen or whatever in college, and they would have around like I'd say most guys would have like 1,000 followers, and I don't even have 1,000 followers just because, like I said, I didn't grow up being friends with everyone. I didn't even have that Instagram until after high school. But guys, on average, when they get out of high school, they have like 1K followers versus girls, on average, they have like 2 to 3K. So it's like you almost have double the amount of followers in a girl sense because, like I said, women follow the women and then guys also follow the women, but like a lot of girls won't follow the guys and a lot of the guys won't even follow the guys. And in college, it just increases. So guys, I tend to see that guys would have anywhere from like 1 to 2,000 followers, and then girls, on the other hand, have anywhere from like 2 to 5,000 followers. Like it's pretty crazy. There's also even some friends that I have right now. Like there's they have like yeah like 1,000 followers out of like kind of like people I'm like know decently well. The highest I know that's not like an influencer is probably like 2,000 something for a guy versus a girl that's like 6,000, 7,000. They're not even like an influencer. They're just like, and it's crazy. Some of these girls are even like private too. So it's like, you have 6,000 followers in your private. It's like, no way you know this many people. It's like, why is your Instagram private? That's another topic for another day. Is like public versus private Instagrams, which I'm convinced that, and there's different reasonings behind private. And I get it as a woman and as a girl, like you want to keep stuff private and you just don't want random creeps to like follow you. But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, if you have a private Instagram and you have 6,000 followers, it's like you definitely don't know all 6,000 of those people, which is a lot of times why they claim to have a private Instagram. It's like, oh, I just want people to follow me that I know. All right, you don't know all those 6,000 people, like guaranteed. So I think that's kind of funny. It's almost like and some girls do it on purpose, I think, especially when they're putting themselves on dating apps and stuff, and it's like they're private. They purposely want people to go and click a request to follow them, just so they can just see a picture in general on their profile and on their account. All right. So at the end of the day, I went through some stats. I went through some kind of like based off of my observations, which, like I said, getting in-depth research about this, I think would be awesome. If anyone has any sources they would like to send me, that'd be great, and I'll do more research and kind of like what other content creators have found out and kind of what other angles I can take as well as far as getting information. But at the end of the day, it's just like women just tend to get more attention, and honestly, that's nothing new. It's like kind of age old at the end of the day. Like women are known for their looks, men are tended to be well known for like their reputation and like the things they do. I think like Rich Cooper always says, men are success objects, women are beauty objects. At the end of the day, they get attention for men get attention for what they do and what they provide, the resources that they have, and women get attention based off of how they look or how attractive they are. Now, there obviously are cases where there are some women that build great businesses or provide a lot of value content wise, per se. But then there's also a lot of guys that provide a lot of value content wise as well, but no one really knows who they are. So, prime example is in my thumbnail, I have these two dating coaches. One is, I'll pull it up. And it's funny because this one girl got uber like Instagram famous. Like, delete me or something. Yeah, that's what it was. Here, let me share my screen. Yeah, this girl. She got like uber famous. It's funny, even like Andrew Tate like mentioned her just because she mentioned him. At the end of the day, she's like a dating, so she's a men's dating coach and self improvement. And y'all probably already know like my thoughts on women being men's dating coaches and how, yeah, they can provide a lot of interesting content and interesting points of view. But all in all, like a guy is going to be better at telling another guy what to do to get a woman just because women objectively don't see and understand stuff the same as guys do. And they tend to be jaded in a sense because their brain and how they behave is wired in a certain way that's totally different from men's. So a lot of stuff that they think what they'll say they're attracted to is actually not what they're initially attracted to. So just a thought on that. But at the end of the day, she's a men's dating and self improvement coach, I guess, and she has 263K followers. And you see right there, she does have, I guess, a boyfriend. This guy, dm.dating. So let's go to his profile. Oh, it looks like he does the exact same thing. Look at that. How many followers does he have? 29K. All right. So it's like, granted, I haven't looked at a lot of this guy's content. I've looked at some of it, and I mean, just the eyeball test, I'd probably trust his content just because, like I said, my my thoughts on men's dating coaches being male versus female, and I think generally men give better advice to men than women give advice to men, and I think vice versa as well, women to women, men to women. But this guy only has like he's less than 30K followers, and it's like, all right, he's doing the exact same thing she's doing. Then why does she have more followers? At the end of the day, it's just she's just attractive. Like let's be honest, and that's why women get more followers just because they're attractive. It's and for a guy to be like very like have a lot of followers, like I said, he either has to have status, accomplish something super great in his life, or already be famous, or just provide a ton of value, like a ton of value. So for example, I think of like Robert Kiyosaki. Like the only reason why he's so popular is because he provided so much value in his Rich Dad Poor Dad company and his content that people follow him. So he has millions of followers. And that's just a case of like apples to apples. So they literally do the exact same thing. Another case in this. I'll go back to my main camera. Another really, I think, fair case in this is you look at just because I'm in the fitness space. So if you look at male versus female fitness content producers, like on an average scale, if you look at the average fitness content producer that's male and the average fitness content producer that's female, it's like the male is going to have way less followers than the female, just because typically the female is in tight fitting clothing and they're wearing a sports bra, they're wearing biker shorts, they're wearing yoga pants, whatever. So they're going to get way more attention just because they're getting that attention from females, one, and then they're getting a ton of attention from males, two. And I would love to see the skew and the demographics of their following, like what percentage of their followers are male versus female. Just because I think that'd be really interesting because I'm sure a lot of women definitely follow a lot of those fitness Instagram chicks. But the split is probably more even than you'd think. It's not necessarily overwhelmingly majority female. So it wouldn't be like 90-10 like Chris Bumstead versus a male fitness person, content creator. Their skew is probably way towards male. So like 90% of their followers, if not more, are male, and the other percentage what, 5-10% is female. So I think that's a fair case study. If you look at the typical fitness influencer, male versus female, female's going to have way more than the male. And this then the skew of their, whether their percentage of followers are male versus female, the female is going to be a lot more even, women to men, versus the male is going to be way skewed towards the men followers. Just because, like I said, they're attractive, and women tend to engage more with women's posts, and also males follow that, and the men follow because they're attractive at the end of the day. So I think that's a fair case study as well. And it's crazy because some of these videos, I'm like, let's be honest, and like guys like Greg Doucette and a lot of these people, they kind of like expose some of these girls, especially if they're like editing pictures specifically. But let's be honest, like the fitness industry is like super saturated, and no one really provides like, very few people provide actual value. And if you look at like the women's, like, all right, how to grow your glutes or like whatever, it's like cool, like all your content's basically the same. And you can argue that for guys as well, but why do they have so many followers? Why do they have so many views? It's because they're wearing yoga pants. Like, let's be honest. And honestly, like I said, no one's arguing like this isn't fair or whatever. That's just how it is. That's just how human dynamics and human psychology works. Let's see. Like I said, guys tend to post what they're doing slash where they're going. Girls tend to post, and then like I said, this is 10. This is like based off of probabilities and likelihood versus like there's no definite. It's a normal distribution if you're a stats person. If you're not a stats person, then you should get into stats. I'm reading a great book about stats. It's in psychology. It's really interesting. Thinking Fast and Slow. I recommend it. Daniel Kahneman, I think, is the author. They're more likely, girls are more likely to post selfies and just post pictures about themselves because that's what's promoted and that's what attracts followers and likes and engagement to, like, for both women and men. Like if a woman's promoting some makeup site, that's why no men follow like makeup artists, just because like men don't care about that. If you post a post about you doing a makeup tutorial, like probably no man's gonna watch that. If you post a selfie after you've done the makeup in a good looking dress or whatever for going out to dinner, like a man's probably gonna like it. The woman's gonna like it no matter what. That's just how it is. But I tend to follow this ratio. Like I said, that's why 100K followers for her equals 10K followers for him. Just because it's like, that's why I tend to see in the ratio. And a prime example was that those two dating coaches, which are ironically dating each other, the girl, she has like 260K followers, and the guy, he has 29K followers, and they essentially do the same thing. And let's just assume as well, it's like the content's probably like around the same, because I've listened to a lot more of her content because she's come up on my feed a lot more. Honestly, I didn't even know he existed, to be honest. But their content's probably around the same, like value wise. Let's be honest. But the fact that she's a woman, she's like attractive, like dramatically changes, and that's why she has so many more followers, so many more views. At the end of the day, women gain followers because they're attractive, not just because they produce value. If they produce value and they're attractive, it's like double whammy. Patrick David talks about this. It's if you have like the 3 or 4 things, it's not only do you ask great questions, not only do you do your research and you provide so much value that people will watch you strictly for your value, but if you throw a little bit of sexy and a little bit of good looks into there, like you're gonna kill it just because that's what people want. That's what people enjoy. It just improves your likelihood of gaining a following and getting attention, to be honest. So, all right, I'll wrap it up at that. I could talk about this a long time, but you only can talk so long just monologuing, you know? So let me check. I don't think anyone has any questions, but if you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, my goal is eventually to get a big enough audience where I can do like an active Q&A like a lot of these other guys are doing, because I think it's interesting conversation, and it'd be interesting to see what other guys are either struggling with or what they're wanting to work on, what advice they need, type of thing. And like I said, I don't have all the answers, but gone through a lot in my life, and I'm also just kind of filming and recording the journey along the way, just because that's one thing that Alex Hormozy kind of wishes he did. It's like, all right, I did all this stuff, and now that I'm like super successful, that's why I'm kind of becoming viral, and that's why I have a lot of followers and stuff like that. But I wish I documented the journey along the way. So he tells all the stories, but it's really cool if you have like a video documenting it and experiences documenting it along the way. It's essentially what I'm doing. So the time will come eventually. But I guess to kind of recap what we talked about social media following stats. Honestly, we talked majority about stats the whole time, and then kind of likelihoods. High school kids went followings, like guys and girls when I was in high school versus how it is now. It's dramatically changed in the past like 6 years since I've been in high school, 7 years. It's crazy. It's like it's only, yeah, it's 7 years. No, yeah, no, it's almost 10 years. Honestly, that's crazy. It's like graduated in 15, so 9 years. Dang, that's crazy. Anyway, and then also followings, guys versus girls in college. At the end of the day, women just get more attention just because they look better. Like people like attractive women. And if they can provide value and they're hot, or if they're just hot in general, people will follow them and engage with them, both men and women. If you provide a lot of value, not so much. But if you're hot and provide a lot of value, like that's the winner. Ding 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 ding. If you want to make hidden content, provide extremely good value in your content and just be hot. At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's how you go viral. All right. I'll catch you later. You know what it is. As with everything, trying to help you guys get stronger, smarter, healthier, wealthier. So go ahead, follow for more tips, follow for more lives, and always stay pumped. All right. Catch y'all later. Catch y'all next week, Thursday. I'll have some pretty fun updates by then, most likely. But you know what time it is. Cue that outro.